Oh my goodness, is this Dark Souls 2? Of the Dark Souls family? Of the New England Dark Souls? Yes, it is. And this is the Iron Keep. We're really going to be getting into the meat of the game here. I have a lot more to talk about. We'll get our UI back. Before anything, you'll notice this keep kind of looks lopsided, at least at the start here. You see a lot of it's sunken into lava, it looks like. Now there is an item over there underneath these stairs, and you can walk on this magma here. Is magma when it's dried, or is lava? I think magma is when it's dried. You can walk on this hard stuff, but you'll take a bunch of fire damage. So if I go over there, I'll probably die before I can get to the item. So once I get some more fire resistance, I'll get that item. I believe it is a shield, but they might have changed it in Scholar of the First Sin. Now, the reason the keep is in lava is actually, it's not that the lava came here afterwards because of... Oh. Well, we're being welcomed early. This is a lone knight. And as you can tell, he's kind of odd because he fights in a very Eastern style with a katana. These are by far the primary enemies in the Iron Keep. And it's an alone knight. A-L-O-N-N-E, I believe. So he's not just alone. There's actually quite a lot of alone knights here. I think that's how you pronounce it. I think it's just alone, but it might be Alon. Alon makes sense. I usually just say alone. Anyway, as I was saying, the keep here is actually in lava because it was so heavy that it fell down into it, like through the earth, until it hit lava and then just kind of rested there. So it's a heavy place. Now we should be getting invaded up here. We should be getting invaded up here. Okay. Wait, alright, never mind. There he is. There he is. Or she. There she is. You actually get invaded by two people here, I believe. Fencer Sharon can be kinda tough. She's a newer one, but you see she's got a very annoying AI that just kind of sits there and waits for you to do something. She's got that, which is an interesting thing. It slows you down, makes me fat roll. She's got poise. There we go. Won't kill. She has a lot of health. A lot of the invader NPCs have a lot of health. They are no joke in Dark Souls 2. Oh, whiff. Alright, come on. Come on. Good combo. Actually didn't spend my souls from defeating Nith, though. I'll do that afterwards. Come on. Take a drinky poo. Thank you. Gotcha. Alright, now one more heavy attack should do it. There you go. And she didn't drop nothing for us, I don't think. Oh. Okay. Let's go back to Majula. Yes, the Iron Keep is the resting place of the old Iron King that we've heard about.
You've been long away. Well, I've only one thing to provide, and we both know what that is.
She says no.
No injury.
I think it's after you get through the Iron Keep. She updates her inventory. Let's level up. Can we get this to 20? Yeah, we'll do that. Nice even 20. Of attunement. We want... Let's get some more soul arrows. Well... Let's get... some heavy soul arrows. I didn't want to replace that. Hold on. There you go. And now heavy soul arrows, as you'll see, are a little slower and bigger, but they do more damage. They're heavier. I don't know how souls have weight, but they seem to make you big, so I guess they're pretty fattening, so I guess that's how that works out. Let's get some life gems from my boo over here. Thanks. Put those on. And you know what? We're not going to get poisoned here, so I'm going to take those off. Alright, let's continue. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we might get invaded here again. Let's take it on this guy. There used to be about 2 or 3 guarding the entrance. They changed it to just one. Ooh, we got his katana. Noise. Noise. Where are you? Black steel katana wielded by Alon/Alone Knights. One of the sturdiest types of katana, preferred by masters of the quick draw. In the heyday of his land, the old Iron King fancied entertaining dubious and eccentric guests from faraway lands. Most of them were charlatans, but among the riffraff was an unusual knight from the far east. He trained the Iron King's men in the sword, and obeisance to his new lord. So that explains why they do not fight like like a medieval European knight, as you would expect from architecture such as this. Now, Alon, I'm gonna go with Alon because it's probably Alon, is the eccentric traveler from the Far East. And we'll learn more about him later on. Okay, no, we do not get invaded here again. Yeah, we do. It used to just be Armorer Dennis here that would invade you on this bridge, so they changed it. He is just as annoying as the first time he invaded us. But we've got... We hit harder now, so... No. No. Stop it. He's got that. I think he had that before, too. But that's still a really good spell. But hopefully we will make good use of later on. And that would have killed me. Don't kill me. Okay. That could also be useful. If we could find it. Yeah. Round 2. We have defeated Armorer Dennis. And we can go up the bracket now. Still didn't drop anything, of course. Now that boy saw me. So come on, boy. These guys can be quite the tough pickle. Typically, if a newer player, at least that I've seen, when they get... Whoa. When they get to this place... These knights, this is the point where a lot of people just say, okay, I'm gonna look up what the heck I do. Like, I'm not doing any damage to these guys. Killing me in like 2 or 3 hits. Okay, I'm gonna look it up, and they look it up, and they figure out that you're supposed to upgrade your weapons and stuff like that. Now there used to be a way to get this item here. You see this bull is spitting fire at us and blocking that item. It will basically just kill us. It does a very high amount of damage. You cannot get it, like in that short pause it does, you cannot get that item. You used to be able to position just right. Nope. As you see, they kind of took umbrage with people exploiting that, so they made the fire have a much bigger and much more deadly hitbox. Become a human again. A little too early. Oh. Yeah, if a newer player is not, yeah, they get bows too, so quite a versatile enemy as well. Nice shot. This is where I've seen 1 or 2 people actually just quit this game. Hold on. I gotta weed something up there, buddy. What? What did we get? We got his gloves. Gauntlets worn by Ironclad Knights. The bonds of the Ironclad Knights who served the old Iron King were mightier than the land's iron. But in the end, the knights were subsumed by the flames that brought down the castle down. Hey! Okay, I know it was rude. I could have just asked you guys about all that information. Okay, I get it. But at the same time, that was really rude as well. So, you know, 2 wrongs don't make a right, buddy. In the end, the knights were subsumed by the flames that brought the castle down. So that's why they're still here. It's because of their apparent super loyalty to the old Iron King. Now over here, we actually meet a friend.
What? Who are you? Who, me? I'm Magarold. Who else? What? Have a look at my wares.
This is Magarold of Atlanta here, as you can see, and as he said. He is primarily a merchant, and primarily here for using spices. So I actually use one, just to show you what it does. You see the 40 there at the bottom for our soul spear. That's, like I said before, our how much intelligence we need to use it. But if we use a simpleton spice, it now needs 39. And that's how you use spices. It's kind of a very niche system. You have to have a very kind of well thought out build to use these.
I'm mainly a treasure hunter, you see. I'm only a merchant on the side. A room about, looking for a find, following me instincts. I don't care what a thing's worth. What matters is whether it grabs me. Do I enjoy what I do? Well, that's a good question. I suppose I must. I've been doing it for ages. There's good iron in these parts. An old king even used it to build a castle. But the thing was too heavy. It slowly sank into the ground. Fire spouted from the earth, and the place turned into this. At least, That's what I've been told. What a bad story, eh? So, what'll it be? Anything for you today?
And that's how you learn how all the lava here is actually just magma from the earth that the keep has fallen into. Probably not very realistic. I think if a building was too heavy that the earth could not support it, the building would just collapse on itself before it collapsed into the earth. But it's a fantasy game. Just go with it.
Hey, you know that old fella with the hulking blue sword? He talks really highly of it, but I got a feeling it's a fake. I didn't want to disappoint him, so I just sort of talked around it. Let me just say, there are lots of legendary swords out there.
He is, once again, talking about a character that we have not yet met. That we will, fairly soon, actually. Probably after this area.
Have you heard of the shrine on the eastern edge of Drang Lake? Built to honor the dragons, they say. If only I knew how to get there. I'd go and I'd comb it for goodies.
Sounds like an interesting place. Maybe we'll go to it. Maybe we'll go to it later.
I'm mainly a treasure hunter.
And that's it. If we spend, I believe, 10,000 souls on him, he'll give us a ring that increases our magic find, but I do not have 10,000 souls at the moment, so we'll have to do it. He does sell these. The Jester's Cap is quite good as it raises his item discovery. All the Jester stuff does. Now, I don't believe you actually have to use Jester Thomas to get these here. I think he just sells them. But the Jester set is actually very useful. Because you see the helmet raises item discovery, the robes nullify foes' critical hits, which is very nice. The Jester's gloves increases the number of souls acquired, which is always good to have. And the tights reduce falling damage. But we don't want to look like a Jester, so we're not going to use them. He does sell the carvings, which, if you remember Dark Souls 1... Cheers. They do this. You throw them on the ground, and this is the hello carving.
Hello.
And that's the most amount of voice chat you'll get in these games. That's their only use is to is usually just to troll people by throwing them on the ground constantly and being annoying. Okay, now you want to really go this way before you go that other way up there. Oh, he dropped a Ferris. Oh, that he didn't drop anything. He's always there because of this. This makes the run back, which you likely will be doing quite often for this area, much easier. Because there's another one here, as you can probably tell by this ballista, and there's a big Alon Knight. I'm going to shoot him with the ballista. It's actually usually better to just backstab him. Because, see, if I backstab him, I'd probably kill him. And the ballista just knocks him down. But there we go. Oh. Now, part of why these guys can be so difficult for newer players is that their AI is not just run up and hit you. A lot of times that's all they'll do. But they will actually avoid your attacks. They'll wait for you to move before doing anything else. Forgot to get those fire arrows. I also think I forgot to get my souls down here. So let's go get those. Hopefully don't die to the bullfire anymore. There we go. Oh, that's 10,000. Alright, we can go get his ring.
Why?
Yeah. Now before they added a bunch more areas, this is one of the very few places you get a fragrant branch of yore, which we'll get. And then we'll talk to him.
Good iron in these parts.
I thought it was 10,000. It might not be 10,000.
Cheers. Why?
I might need to spend a little. Yeah, I think I need to spend 1,000 more. Here we go.
I think we have similar taste. Really? I do. Here, you should like these.
Once again, a character gives us quote unquote these, and then gives us a single item.
Very well. No pressure.
Odd. Covetous gold serpent ring. A gold ring depicting the snake, both the servant and manifestation of the god of desire or Zender. Greed is traditionally viewed as a vice, but only a coward sees every chance as something to fear. This will increase our item find. It'll make us get more drops, which is very useful for this particular playthrough I'm doing, as I want to read you as many important item descriptions as I can. Now, the god of desire, Zender, if you recall, last episode, or the episode before, I think it was the episode before, desire is a very important aspect, but Zender himself is only mentioned in this ring and is never brought up again, and I think he's just a name that they came up with. So, just forget him. He's not important. Sorry, Zender. But you are fluff, sir. You are nothing but fluff. Let's heal up a little bit. Now this area, on your first playthrough, you will probably become very intimate with. See, that guy is going to shoot us with that big old bow. There's going to be a couple of the guys with big old bows. And there used to be more. And there's this bridge here that, quite obviously, we need to lower. I'm going to try to snipe this dude. Oh! And you see, there's always one around the corner. You are not safe from the terror of the Ironclad Knights in this area here. See, yep, there's another. What the hell? And there's another. What the hell? Okay, can we, ow. Alright. Alright. Can we finish this now? Don't shoot me. You saw the first time he shot me? That was an example of the curving that arrows magically do in Dark Souls. Now this guy, let's see if I can get closer to him. He is a knight captain. He's basically the same thing as the Ironclad Knights, but stronger and bigger. And everybody thinks he's real cool. And he also has a katana that he'll use if he'd stop being a pussy and just get down here. But they also, strangely enough, attack with lightning, which is interesting. They like infuse lightning in their sword and strike, which is typically a sign of miracle power. They don't really, there's nothing really in this area that suggests miracles. Let's see, drop down here. Okay, not all that important, but useful. They changed the items in this area a lot. You used to get the dull ember here, and it was really out of the way. So it was strange for such a useful item to be so far out of the way. A life ring, which we won't be using. It's the same as the ring that you can start out with, and I think we got another one of. It's just better because it's +1. Plus rings, like +1, +2 rings are a new feature in Dark Souls 2, I think. And typically you only get them in New Game Pluses. but there are some, like that in the gold submarine that plus ones. Now, see, we lowered this, leaving that item up there, funnily enough, but only one side. And this, oh, it does open, but it's not good to open, because that happens. So you still can't go in there. Come on. Oh, whiff. Now that item down there, on that very out of the way place over there, was the Dull Emperor originally. We can still pick it up. Great arrows differ from regular arrows in that they are used with great bows. That's, if you notice, the arrows that the captains there shoot are much bigger. Great bows shoot quite a bit slower, but they do a lot more damage and knockback. Oh, you got lucky. Ow. Ow. Oh, don't kill me. He's gonna kill me up here. Right? No! Yep, and there's like, as you can tell, about precisely about 3 billion of these guys on this little sliver here. And that fog gate is, in fact, the boss. So it is quite not the fun, not all the time, fun time to get up there. Especially when you've been fighting the boss several times, because he's quite the difficult cookie. We will be summoning a character for this boss. Not because I really need it, although, like I said, it is quite a tough boss. But it is, in fact, Lucatiel, and we will be summoning her, and she will hopefully survive so that we can continue her story. That was that summon sign you said. Well, it might not have been that one. I don't know, they added a new one. Come over here, bud. Alright. Let's get up behind this dude over here. Oh. He was very interested in that wall. There's nothing there. Oh. How'd you get up here? I guess there are stairs. I usually just drop down. Oh! Yeah, I am not used to the range. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I am not used to the range of the mace. We'll get there. I've died here enough to know what to do. I am a master. Not really. I mostly recognize the original layout, enemy layout of this area, which was still filled to the brim of Ironclad Knights, but they were in slightly different positions. There were a lot more bow guys in annoying places that it basically was impossible to go through unless you had a bow of your own to snipe them down. Which is probably why they changed it. Ah. It does not help that they have an awful lot of thrusting moves that they can use through each other. The Mace's heavy combo seems to be my most useful attack here. Now hopefully we can get over here without aggroing all those guys down there, which we didn't do. So, hide behind this pillar here and take them out. And then take this jerkwad out. Oh, don't fall off. Retreat. Retreat and take a sippy. Oh boy. He didn't want to be here any more than we did. Oh! Yeah, I gotta get used to this range. Gotta realize I don't have that long sword anymore. You can also tell they do bleed damage. So, very multifaceted and dangerous enemy here. Okay. Now, I think we're gonna make some use of our magery here to make this a little easier. Let's drop over here. You can also walk on here to get an item. That chest over there. Which, as you can tell, takes a lot more fire resistance because you have to stand there and open the chest. So, we definitely can't do that one yet. This is a valve. That will do something we can't see and turn off the fire in there. Making it safe. Heavy solar can be difficult to land on a moving enemy. Oh, we got their helmet. I don't think that says anything different. No. Looks kind of cool, though. Alright, bucko. Oh, no. Taking the bullet for his buddy. Drop down here. You have to be very careful throughout here. And using this lever, we'll drop down the rest of the bridge. Not needed, but it does make the guys over there run to you, so you can run across the bridge and have a lot more room to fight them. And drop it down here again, so we can go through here. Now, that boss up there that I told you that was hard is actually technically completely optional, but we're going to do it anyway. He's quite the infamous boss. A petrified dragon bone. I believe we have read that before. That's a upgrade material. I shouldn't have opened this because there's probably guys behind here. Oh no, I guess we took care of them. These will fall, I believe, if you step on them. I'm not sure, but I'm not going to test it. Now, he will probably show us his light line. There he is. Hit that, which blows up when you do so. It's a nice one there. I'm going to try to get down here. Don't hit me. Thank you. Yeah, he won't follow, but I needed to heal up a little bit. Oh, that heavy attack is... Oh, God. Now, if you go this way, you can actually just skip a boss. But we're not going to do that. So that's a little preview. And now this upcoming boss I said was, let's see if I can jump over here. I probably can't actually. I'm not going to do that. I have thought better of it. And I am going to go back through here and get back on that bridge. The boss is rather infamous because it's probably the first real big test of a boss. And by that, I mean it requires a lot of patience. Very similar to, like, if you remember, if you played the first Dark Souls, Ornstein and Smo. It's not quite to that level. There's another boss that kind of is, but he doesn't go down easy, and pretty much the only way to counteract what he does is just to be patient. And in some cases get lucky. Ow. I was trying to make a point here. Okay, guys? Anyway, in some cases get lucky, but for the most part you just have to pick your shots. Which a lot of people struggle with. Bye-bye. Now I will attempt to jump over here. Nope. Nope. No, sir. Unfortunate. I should have saved that until after I cleared out everything. But it'll be okay. We can skip a lot of the guys that we went through. Jumping mechanics, once again, not good. I do like this area. If not so much from... It's really the enemies, I feel, that make it so difficult. It's kind of annoying. Just the sheer volume of them. That's kind of a theme with Dark Souls. But I do like the aesthetics and general kind of layout. It's a very top-down, especially further in, where it's surprisingly vertical in nature. Come on. Ow. Come on. I know you over there. Guys, just... Where is your code of honor? Ganging up on me like that. Come on. Which one of you motherfuckers want it? Ow. Ow. Now these guys actually use the big boy backstab animation. Oh, which hopefully we'll get it. Ow. Okay. Let's retreat to the bridge so we can heal. Similar to the big undead and the huntsman's cops in Harvest Valley. Alright, you big jerk. I'll give you the two-handed. Now Now, that's not a very important item, so I'm going to leave that for now until we can get through this, because I also have to make a jump to get over here. Thankfully, that one's a little easier. Now, it's a petrified dragon bone, which is still very useful, so you still kind of want to get over there. And as you can tell, there's a pharaoh's face over here. And this is why, Honda. This is just a generic two-handed sword. Like, it doesn't have any lore implications, but it's the popular one. We will use this. That's water. Now, unlike the water in the Earthen Peak, this one will up your fire resistance for a little bit, making it easier to get those items over there. You still need some items with fire resistance, though, if you hope to survive, so it's not enough for us right now. Hopefully this is Lucatiel. I didn't want to drink there, but that's alright. Yeah, this is Lucatiel. And she must survive, so if she dies during this fight, I will just kill myself and come back. This is another reason why this is so annoying, is because you have to kill all these enemies to be able to summon her again. So hopefully we will not die on this boss. This is the Smelter Demon. Now he may be a demon, like an actual demon, unlike the Covetous Demon. He does that, but he can continue that streak by doing that. So he can, every time he stabs the sword into the ground, he can potentially do that, and that does a bunch of damage. And his hitboxes are nowhere near represented by his thing. We're already going to phase 10. So when he does that, he takes less damage during the power-up animation when it goes away. But now, he slowly does fire damage as you are close to him. It's not a lot, but it's enough to be annoying, and you can tell Lucatiel's sitting there taking it again. Wow, we're transitioning fast between these phases. And this, he just sets his sword on fire, giving him even more range. And are you gonna poop? Yep, he pooped. So it's really, you gotta wait for the poop. And that's why it's all about patience. Because he could or could not do the fire poop. And if he doesn't do the fire poop, you miss the punish. But I find it's much safer to get one hit in and go away and wait for the fire poop. Because otherwise you're just going to get hit by the fire poop, take a bunch of unnecessary damage. And he's quite difficult to dodge. Because like I said, his hitboxes are quite large. And fire poop, and then you go up and hit. Oh, and that's the primary benefit he gets to having fire on his sword. Is that move becomes much more difficult to dodge. So fire is burning up. Now, hopefully Lucatiel doesn't die, because I want to tell you something. You notice his face looks like a butthole. It's quite reminiscent to how giants look, interestingly enough. But that's Smelter Demon. He's not too difficult if you have Lucatiel there helping you. He was. Yeah, Lucatiel used to be much more useless in that fight. They had to buff her stats by a whole bunch. And in this game, in this version of the game, they made her AI much more defensive in nature. But before, she would get killed quite easily. And she was basically just a detriment because she gave the boss more health, essentially. Again, if you summon either a player or an NPC into a boss fight, the bosses get more health. but she became much more useful with further patches in the game. But because he has a lot of health and his attack strings vary a lot and have a lot of delay on them, as you can probably tell, you need patience in that fight. This is not a... I mean, you need damage as well, so it is a damage check, but it's mostly a patience check than anything. Let's read his soul. Soul of the Smelter Demon that haunts the castle that sunk into a pool of iron. The old Iron King's life was taken by a massive iron that had been given a soul. Was this metal Goliath there from the beginning, or was it a product of the king's conceit? Use the special soul of the Smelter Demon to get some souls. Now, it's interesting, because like I said, he may or may not be an actual demon. I think it's probably just part of the name. But when you get into the DLC for this area, there is an entrance to one of the DLC areas in this, which we will not be doing right away, because it is quite high above our pay grade at the current moment. There's some evidence that it may be a demon, but from his soul description here, he just seems like a golem that we've seen before, like the ruined sentinels and stuff. So who knows? We'll maybe find out a little bit more later on. Now this chest gives you the pig. You get the pig. You get the little piggy. The pig head looks eerily authentic, but it is an imitation. Though the shield defensive capacity is ordinary, it may spook an unsuspecting foe. And you get a little pig. It's not a great shield, but it has a pig on it. So it's a great shield in my opinion. And you get a nice bonfire, a very useful bonfire. So although this boss is optional, I highly recommend that you take it out, because not only does it teach you a lot, not only does it teach you a lot about the game, but makes going through the rest of the area much more easier. Bearer of the curse, please level me up, lady. We really don't need much other than intelligence. So let's bring that up to 35. And spend the rest on life gems, because I'm tired of running out. Bunch of them. What was I doing there? There we go. There we go. I got it. I understand. Alright. Now, before we continue, though, there's another old friend we have to see in the area we just went from. We just fought a boss. He's back! Now, I do not want to aggro that Alondine out there. So I'm going to lure him over here and then get hit, which was on purpose. Totally. It was RNG manipulation. AGDQ's on. You all know about RNG manipulation, so that was what that was. It made him feel bad about hitting me. Which is a random function the developers put in. Enemies will randomly feel bad about hitting you and drop more souls. Because the sadness in their hearts manifests itself as their own hearts. And Kingdom Hearts is light, so it's good. Oh, this is kind of an awkward place to fight him. it's a good arena, but his attacks are all lunging, and he lunges at you a lot. So it's weird when they make you fight him in small confined areas. Whoa. And Spinaroonie, and then miss. That was also on purpose. Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out though, finally. I do like the Kingdom Hearts series. Then not really has anything to do with this game, but I've already told you everything I know about Pursuer, and I've already fought him like 4 times now. So don't know what else much to talk about. Gosh, Sora! That's a lot of cum, Sora! And it gives us another Ring of Blades, this time of +1, which doesn't really help us. First up, then continue onwards. Hopefully ignore that guy. Get this guy over here. Now you see in the background there that our old friend, the Ironclad Knights, aka the Turtle Club. And this is in fact where they originate from. So that's why it's odd that they're in the Forest of Fallen Giants. Because it either means that the Iron Keep here is not strictly in Drang Lake, or did not originate in Drang Lake, or these Ironclad Knights are from the past and somehow ended up in Vendrick's army. Now, he will be a jerk. As you can tell, he's knocking down. And he will knock that down if you let him do it, which I kind of wanted to do, but I went too far ahead. They will kill him. They do have more health, but we have more damage, so do it. But he will knock that out, and you have to jump over it. And as we all know, jumping is terrible. This area over here, we will not be going to. This, Pharaoh's Lockstone here, we will not be using quite yet. This leads to an optional area. There's also one in the Lost Bastille that I skipped. I'm going to put those in the, like, odds and ends kind of episode that I plan on doing near the end. Now, these platforms here, you can get on. But there's a bunch of people over there. One thing that I will show you, because I don't want to show you on accident, is these little plates here are buttons. And they do that. So you don't want to hit those unless you have a plan for it. But we pull this lever, and thankfully, it will be a very helpful ladder, as it will get rid of all these enemies for us. Bye-bye. Or that, just that enemy. Bye-bye. And raise down this one. Oh, come on. What? Odd. Come on, big boy. Oh, you're so slow. You're so slow, though. Okay, we're gonna go over here first. Crystal Lizard that I'm probably not gonna get, because I'm hitting all these things that I don't want to hit. Because that happens. Making it so you have to either jump over them or take the damage. I'm gonna read that captain helmet over here to hopefully get rid of that noise. I don't think it's much different. Helmet worn by the captain of the Ironclad Knights. In fact, you know what? Hold on. I can't hear myself. This area can get quite noisy with all the fires and whatnot. Helmet worn by the captain of the Ironclad Knights. The accoutrements of the Ironclad Knights who served the old Iron King were created with an advanced casting technique. They remain solid and handsomely crafted. Ooh. The design is styled after the armor worn by an unusual knight who trained the Iron King's men in the sword. He was said to have deserted his liege after bearing witness to his descent into depravity. So, we know that the old Iron King set up the Huntsman's cause, which does not seem like a nice place. And we know that he perhaps had dealings with Mitha, the Baneful Queen, who also kind of descended. And we know he's dead, killed probably by that Smelter Demon that we just fought. So we're kind of ransacking his house while he's gone. Ooh, the leggings. We're building it up so we can be a turtle man. I am gonna fight this guy at range because they can be difficult to fight in a closed area like this. And then we'll go up this ladder. I think we'll be getting invaded up here. Might not be up here. I'm not sure. I don't really go up here often because it's kind of optional. Yeah, there he is. By Oliver, the Collector. Now, he's got like a mishmash of stuff on him. And he fat rolls because he's a noob. I think it's actually a little joke that he fat rolls. It's because he just has so much on him. So he's just a player that wants to have all the cool stuff. Ow. And he's actually got kind of a meta weapon. The weapon he has there is kind of famous in Dark Souls 2 PvP for being the strongest. Just kind of runs at you, so yeah, I think he's mostly a joke than anything else. And he didn't drop nothing. Yeah, Dark Souls 2 has a lot of in jokes like that, kind of sprinkled throughout, especially Scholar of the First Sin. Now this Ferrous Stone just makes more water for you, so I'm not going to use it. Not gonna waste it. This is a pretty area, but there's a lot of people with bows. We're gonna take it nice and slow. Yeah. Come on, lock on. Work with me. Work with me. Ah. Must be just outside the lock on range. Let's see if we can still get him. No, let's just go in there. Stop fussing around. You guys are terrible shots. Just terrible. I wasn't even know. What were you aiming at? Alon didn't train you guys well enough. Some more spice. The Black Knight Great Axe. Now, it is important that this is here. There is a reason for it, but I probably can't tell you yet. Great axe wielded by knights who served a Lord of Light in the long-forgotten age. Even after their flesh was charred by flame, they remained as strong as ever and stood watch, challenging visitors to their land. This is an item from Dark Souls 1. Kind of the big bad knights that were called the Black Knights. I will tell you more about that after we beat this boss. Not this boss. The boss is still a little ways off, but the final boss of this area. And you gotta be real careful dropping down through here. There are enemies scattered throughout. Especially this one here. Because if you fall in that lava, you die. But you can land on the lip there. We don't need that. We already got a better one. Another katana. We can dual wield katanas if we so wish, but we probably don't wish. That'd be so cool! That fog gate does not lead to the boss. In fact, it leads us back. So we're actually entering this through the opposite side that we really are supposed to. Whoa. Whoa. Chill out, turtle man. Yeah. So this is the way we'll be going henceforth. Should we die, which hopefully we will not before we reach the next bonfire. This can be a dicey area. Tell it's a very small area, and there's a very large man. So you want to lead him out. And then it's probably not the best spell to use against them because they have enough poise to not get staggered by it. Because they do a big almo. Don't hit me, please! Oh. Thank God he did not do the sideways swing, because that might have pushed me into the lava there. Oh, his helmet. We can be Turtle Boy. We might be Turtle Boy. We'd be terrible, but we would be turtles. Now this raises up this guillotine trap here. It will fall back down. And hopefully hit that guy? No. But you want to run back through it and lead him through it, because otherwise you have to fight him trapped. You cannot jump over it or anything. It traps you there. But he can get hit by it, and I think it just kills him. I think it does enough damage. And it will kill you if it lands on you. But you cannot pass through those guys. You can't roll past them, you can't do anything in this little corridor. You are stuck. Hopefully get this item. Don't die. Don't die. Oh, we died. I ran into that I actually didn't die because of the fire. I ran into that spiker wall. That's alright. It's fairly easy to get back. Come on. Oh, we got invaded by Forlorn. Where's he gonna show up? There he is. He's over there. Is he gonna break him? Break it? Yes! Yes! Ha-ha! Ha-ha-ha-ha! He's on my side now. We are now the Turtle Men. Hold on. We are now Turtle Men. We're bad Turtle Men. We're really bad Turtle Men. Okay. Maybe we shouldn't be Turtle Men. Yeah. Not a good idea. But, the Turtle Men are now on our side. Technically. Because of that. There you go. I think that's what we had. Now, you do have to jump over this. Okay. Not too hard, but can still be messed up by the wonky jumping controls. Don't hit me. That went for both of you. Oh, no! Alright. Now, hopefully without any distractions, we can get through this. Better take a drink, because my throat is starting to hurt. This will be quite a bit longer episode than the others, but hopefully not more than 2 hours. You don't have that much left. Keep hitting that stinking wall. Stop it. Oh. Alright, now you, the jerk over here, what killed me. That was a nice jump, dude. I don't know how you did that in armor. That was a nice jump. Lower this to kill this guy. Kill this guy. We're just killing guys. What have we become? Alright, hopefully avoid that guy. Nope. He wants to tango. I think if we just run, we'll be alright, but to be on the safe side, I'll just take him out. Like I said, you cannot backstab these guys, and in fact, they'll just fall in their big old turtle backs, and they'll do a lot of damage. Cannot make it over there. This guy, run through the fire, please. Okay, fire apparently does not hurt them. Because they're so super cool with their katanas and whatnot. I'm just gonna leave you there to shoot me with the bow. So just stay there. Hey, stay there. Okay. Okay. Oh. So their armor resists the fire. The big stinking turtle armor doesn't. Alright, okay. Makes sense, I guess. Nice jump, dude. You guys are overpowered. Hey, big boy. Swing your... Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I forgot about one. Don't kill me. Uh-oh. He followed us. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no, we're in a bad way. We can do it though. Believe in me. I need your powers. Stop breathing fire. Okay. first. You're the one that snuck up on me. And then your big brother. And then your Uncle Turtle. See, maces are can be pretty good. Just if you can get used to the short range. So those guys are not easy to stagger. Oh, he's gonna run up and hit me. Ah! That attack always gets me. Okay. Let's see if we can get this guy. Come here. Come here, I got something to show you, buddy. Stay there. No, stay there. There you go. You see, that would probably kill us if it hit us. But it's kind of hard to get hit by it. Now, I really should have waited to get that item. There is a way to turn off all this bull mess. The bulls spitting fire. Whoa. Up this very long ladder is a bonfire. It's very helpful and very well received, as the run back for the boss would not be very easy otherwise. And this lever, which will turn off all the fire, including that one that with the super hitbox at the beginning that we can get that key from. Spoiler alert, it's a key. I don't think I told you it was, but it is a key. And we can head back down and we'll become human. For Detroit, once again. Now there's a summon here. I did not want to drink. I guess we will anyway. Yep. Yep. It is Manhunter O'Hara. She is a pointless. Well, not pointless. She's there to help you, but doesn't really have much lore to her, other than that she doesn't wear pants and has high heels on. I guess she's the waifu summon. And honestly, summoning for this boss just makes it harder. No, we just came from that. We were at the tippy top there. In that eye there, you can see on the right. That's cool. Like I said, I love the aesthetic of the Iron Keep. Even though it can be quite a frustrating area to go through. It's very nice. Now through here, we will fight what is called the Old Iron King. Now I will have to explain a little bit of I guess you could say spoilers. Like I said, I want to kind of do this spoiler free, but I'm not going to be doing this in New Game Plus, so I'm going to have to explain something a little bit more meta that I'll get into later on. Let's just do it. cares what the old Iron King has apparently become. You can shoot him with soul arrows as he comes at you, or any range thing. He is not the boss. The boss here is that little hole there. So you see? Fall in that, you fall in lava, you die. If you die to this boss, it's most likely because you fell in that hole. These fires, you want to run away and go through a gap in them. And you just want to wait out his attacks. They're fairly easily dodgeable, but once again, you don't want to fall in that hole. So that's the primary difficulty of this boss fight. Oh, and as you see, the fire also knocks back. This, you want to get out of the way as much as you possibly can, because that hitbox is bigger than it appears. Oh, hit me. Hit him right back. He does have a bit of health, but his attacks are fairly easily dodgeable. And he does have some surprises, but he has a lot of recovery that he has to go through. And you don't have to wait, like I can hit his hand here. So you don't have to, thought I was gonna fall down. You don't have to wait for him to specifically slam down his arm to hit it. Which is cool. I like that you can kind of take shots where you couldn't think normally you would. You can roll through the fire, but it's best to go for a gap. Start throwing soul arrows while he's doing that. Whoa! Okay, this you want to run to the side. Smack him in the head. There he goes. Now you notice the little picture for this soul is quite a bit different from the other boss souls. Soul of the old Iron King, who succumbed to the flames that swallowed his castle. The Iron King's flesh was charred and his soul possessed by the things that lurk below. Use this special soul to jerk off with it. So not a lot there, but let me continue on, and I'll explain a little bit more. Petrified something for the birds. This bonfire is one of 4 special bonfires. As you see, usually when we light a bonfire, it says bonfire lit. This is a primal bonfire. Now, if you remember, the Emerald Herald tasked us with finding 4 great souls in Drain Lake, and that was one of them. Now over here is a very interesting looking statue. This is how you access the DLC, so I will not be using this right away. We will be back here when I decide to do the DLC. And you cannot warp to this bonfire. You can only return back to Majula. Which is called the Far Fire, interestingly enough. Okay, now, when you kill the old Iron King in New Game Plus, you actually get a second boss soul from it. Okay? Now, this happens with all of the 4 great souls that you're tasked with the Emerald Herald into collecting. I'm going to now tab out of this video game and go to the World Wide Web, the great internet, and read you the description of that soul. It is called, I believe, the Old King Soul. Let's see. Yes. Old King's Soul. Soul of the Ineffable. This once magnificent soul continues to exert influence over the land, even after the eons have reduced it to these remnants. Blah, 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 blah. Now, the reason you get a second soul in New Game Plus is related to Dark Souls 1, which is why it's going to be difficult for me to explain. Because, once again, I kind of want this to just mostly be about Dark Souls 2. So I really want to save most discussion about that for the connections episode I have planned, where I show you and talk about all the connections between Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3, I guess. As they relate to Dark Souls 2, at least. Again, I'm not really all that interested in 1 and 3. This is just about 2, as much as possible. But those 4 souls that you get in New Game Plus for killing the 4 Great Souls are the Lord Souls from Dark Souls 1. And that was the soul of Gwyn, the primary antagonist of Dark Souls 1. Not this soul that we got, but the one you get in New Game Plus. Now, if you don't know who Gwyn is, I'll have to explain that in the Connections episode. And if you do, then that would explain that you probably are interested in that. But, you won't be hearing it from me at this point, and you probably already know, because I started this series to kind of highlight games that I like that don't really get a lot of attention. And I chose Dark Souls 2 because it was relevant. Like I said, a friend was playing it and made me really want to play it again. And not a lot of people talk about it, especially now. Because it's kind of the black sheep of the Souls family. But I really like it. But at the same time, it's still a Souls game, so it's still pretty popular. There's a lot of videos out there. But this is my video, so I will be talking about that later. Thank you very much for joining me. Next time, we'll be going to a completely different area of Drain Lake and spending all these souls that we got. This will be nice and fun. Thank you for watching. I love you very, very much. Do you understand me? You are special. You're so perfect in every way, and I just cannot wait to be inside of you.